Give me a minute or two to get in. Okay. Welcome everybody. You are at the virtual college exploration with College2Career fairs. We want to welcome you here today and hope you will enjoy our session. We want to let you know that we are in webinar format today. And what that means is that we cannot see you or hear you. Your cameras and your microphones are disabled, and that means the hand raise is also disabled. So we will not be able to use that feature. If you want to ask questions, which we surely hope you will, there is a Q&A button in the toolbar at the bottom of your screen. Go ahead and enter your questions there. And because this is a panel session, if you'd like to ask the question of a specific campus or rep, make sure you address that in the question so we know who you're asking the question of. We are going to record this full session today. It will be available to you at college2careerfairsconnect.org. We also would like to encourage you to go back to our site, college2careerfairsconnect.org, and think about joining in some more sessions. We have sessions going on later today and also 4 days next week, starting on Tuesday. So come on back and visit a few more sessions. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our presenters.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Jordan. I am with the University of Health Sciences and Pharmacy in St. Louis, which is kind of a mouthful. We were formerly St. Louis College of Pharmacy. So if you're familiar with us there, we essentially kind of made a little bit of an umbrella name because we do offer other undergraduate majors, and so we just wanted our name to reflect that. So our acronym that we're now going by is UHSP, but St. Louis College of Pharmacy is alive and well, and this is located in St. Louis, Missouri. So just a little bit about us. We are a small school. We like it that way. We do it on purpose. We're a little over 1,000 students altogether. That's undergraduate and professional students. We are represented by 28 different states, 22 different countries, and do have 62% female, 38% male students on campus. The average class size is going to be about 10 students to one professor. That is on average, and typically for those undergraduate classes, once you get in your upper levels and those professional classes, they do get bigger than that. All of our labs, though, however, are capped off at 25 students. Essentially, you can tell by our name, we are a healthcare school through and through. So we don't offer anything else outside of healthcare. We have 6 different undergraduate majors, 3 pharmacy pathways, 2 graduate programs, and 4 different advanced opportunities, which do include some like plus programs. So anything that you want to do within healthcare or medicine, we are going to have a program for you. And the location that we're in is really beneficial for that because we do have or are surrounded by this medical community. So we're actually in the heart of Washington University's medical campus, and they're ranked within like the top 10, I believe, best medical schools in the United States. So right next door to them, and then we also are surrounded by a Barnes Jewish Hospital, which is in the top 15 best hospitals in the United States as well. So it allows for a lot of traffic through our campus and a lot of options and opportunity to network and just kind of get hands-on experience. Here's just a map, a little bit of our campus. So 1 through 5 is essentially where our buildings. And then this 6 over here, if you can see this, surrounds Washington University's medical school. So all of these buildings over here are all in relation to that. So just to give you a little bit about that medical community in which we're located. So healthcare alone is just a great definitely program to go into for a career path because it's supposed to be projected by like 2028 that 1.9 million new job opportunities are supposed to be open. So it's, definitely going to be something where you can always find a job. And I know that other presenters can kind of talk on this as well, but I always use the pandemic as an example. You have to look at those who still had jobs during this time. And that was typically the people who worked within healthcare and medicine. So just looking at this screen, you can see this is just the tip of the iceberg of different types of career paths that you can go through. And any of our degrees are going to allow for entry into these careers. And then there are a whole ton of different types of practice that you can go through within pharmacy as well. And so these are just a couple down here of options where you can do that. All right, so College of Arts and Sciences is one of the schools underneath the university. And so these house all of our undergraduate degrees. So we do have Global Health, which is Bachelor's of Arts, and that's gonna work with social justice, public health, things that are going on in the world right now. So the CDC, WHO, those are kind of all things that can go underneath this Global Health degree. Medical Humanities is an umbrella type of degree. So there are so many things you can do within it. This kind of tends to go on the liberal arts side of healthcare. So if you don't want to do a ton of really heavy science based, but you want to work in healthcare, medical humanities is a really great route to go. You can do healthcare communication, nursing, hospital administration. You can do health psychology. I mean, the list kind of just goes on and on when it comes to medical humanities. Biomedical is going to be, that's a bachelor's of science, and that's going to pretty much get you into any type of doctorate program that you want to go into. So it's going to have some different classes than a pre-med degree would, but it's essentially going to do the same. There's just a lot of really interesting type of different courses that you'd be taking through biomedical science. And then we do have a nursing program. It's a partnership with Goldfarb School of Nursing, which Barnes Jewish Hospital, which I mentioned earlier, they created their own college specifically for nursing. And so it is a partnership because they only cater to students who have already completed pre-coursework or already have a bachelor's degree or maybe already are an RN. And so what happens is you come to us for 2 years and you just get all of that pre-coursework that you need, and then you go across the street because they are literally right across the sidewalk, go to Goldfarb for the other 2 years, and so it's a 4-year program, and you come out with a bachelor's of science in nursing. The cool thing is they don't have on-campus dorm rooms, so you are more than welcome to stay on our campus through the full 4-year program. And then pharmaceutical chemistry, this is a bachelor's of science degree that's going to be more about working like in the lab or doing research or drug development. So you don't necessarily need to go into pharmacy to major in pharmaceutical chemistry. It's just kind of that chem route, which means you're going to be doing a lot of that research lab type of curriculum. And then pharmaceutical science, that's kind of the patient care side to pharmacy. So this is typically what we do partner with for an integrated bachelor's degree with a PharmD degree, which I will talk about next. So if you're wanting to do pharmacy specifically, we do have a 6-year PharmD program. So there's 2 programs that you can do when you come into high school, the 6-year and the 7-year. The 6-year is this 2 years worth of pre-pharmacy courses, so kind of prerequisite classes that lay the foundation that you would need in order to get into the pharmacy program. And then the 7-year is an integrated bachelor's degree, so that pharmaceutical science that we condense into 3 years, and then you go into the PharmD program from there. So we also have residency programs that you can definitely ask about as well. And then these are all of the other options. So we do have a master's in global health and equity, which pairs with that global health undergraduate degree, master's in medicinal chemistry, which pairs with the pharmaceutical chemistry. And then we do have a dental medicine program, which is partnered with A.T. Still University. It's a Missouri School of Dentistry. They do reserve 3 interview slots for our students per year. And then students who are going to school to get their PharmD can also go and get their Master's of Business Administration if they're interested in doing like maybe running their own pharmacy or consulting, something along those lines. And then we do also offer an occupational therapy and a physical therapy program. And so these are both partnered with Washington University's medical school. And for OT, there's a 3+2, meaning 3 years with us, 2 years with them for a master's, and then a 3+3, 3 years with us, 3 years with them for a doctorate. And then physical therapy is a 4+3, so 4 years with us and 3 years with them. And for physical therapy, they do reserve 3 spaces for our students. You do have to, meet a set of certain requirements, but starting out with us, we work with our students, our advisors, work really hands-on with them to make sure that we're getting you to that point to be successful. All right, and of course, our application is open. We do not have any application fees. We do review students holistically. We're test optional, so you can submit them if you have them, but it's not gonna hurt you if you don't. Everything is pretty much electronic. Early decision and early action deadlines are December 1st. Regular decision is March 1st, and then the earlier you apply, you get some cool stuff. We have lots of ways for students to experience campus through virtual preview days, learning more about our school. If you want to know about scholarships, campus life, student services, all of that. I will be doing an information session through this platform a week from today. So next Thursday at 5 o'clock, and I am more than happy to, have you guys on to talk more about all of that. Again, my name is Jordan. And if you have questions, please do not hesitate to let me know. I'm here to help in any way that I possibly can. And I do want to thank you guys for being here. And that is all that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and send it on over to the next presenter.
All right, Jordan, thank you. I think that's me. So let's see here. Everybody can see my screen. We will go ahead and get to presenter mode.
You're good.
All right. So my name is Shawnee Eleanor Jenkins, and I am the Vice President of Enrollment at Maryville University. And we are located in St. Louis, Missouri. So some quick facts about Maryville University. We have a total enrollment of about 11,000 students, but our traditional undergraduate population is 2,900 students. So we're still considered a small private school. The biggest difference between those two numbers is that we have quite a few graduate programs online. So about 7,000 of those students are online students studying graduate level programs. So we have students from all 50 states, about 58 different countries. Maryville University offers over 90 different academic programs. We are NCAA Division II, so we do also offer athletic scholarships. Average class size is about 25 students per class. So again, we're considered a small private liberal arts university. So if you're looking for that, be a great option for you. We have a very vibrant campus life. Well, pre-COVID, we're hoping to get back to that at some point soon with 150 clubs and organizations. If you're familiar with St. Louis, Missouri, we're actually located in the suburbs, about 20 minutes west of the downtown area. So Jordan mentioned a few things. We're similar in a lot of ways as far as the statistics on healthcare occupations. It is a fast growing field, so happy to see that a lot of students are interested in it. So definitely the things that you want to consider while you're considering healthcare is job security is definitely there. You can work anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world at this point with healthcare. And the other cool thing is there's varying levels of education that are needed depending on which area of healthcare you want to go into. Plenty of room for career advancement, highly competitive salaries, and it is a rewarding career. Things to consider when you're considering healthcare. If these attributes fit you, then this is the right path for you. So great communication skills are needed. Gotta be passionate. This is a people career, right? So you're working with people, gotta be passionate about it. Flexibility, obviously, as you know, and we're in the middle of pandemic, and our frontline care workers had to be flexible in trying to accommodate all the things that are happening. Team player, you gotta be have attention to detail. Empathy is important. Again, this is a heavily person-dependent career. The one thing that has always been there that continues to pop up is this ability to be savvy in the technology world. What we're hearing is some of the healthcare workers that are retiring early are retiring because hospitals and organizations keep bringing on new systems. So you want to make sure that not only are you savvy when it comes to your career and your knowledge in your field, but also when it comes to technology. So on to Maryville, healthcare pathways at Maryville. If you're not familiar with us, a lot of times people will ask us, what are you known for? Healthcare programs are one of the areas that Maryville is really well known for. We have quite a few early direct admit programs. So for instance, our nursing is a freshman direct admit program. So when you meet the requirements, which you'll see here, and you apply for admission at Maryville, you are accepted into the nursing program as a freshman. And then you just finish up your 4 years with your bachelor's degree in nursing. So you don't have to come to Maryville and then transfer to another institution. Again, it's a freshman direct entry program. Same thing with our physical therapy and occupational therapy programs. If you're interested in physical therapy, we are a freshman direct entry PT program where you will finish your program in 6.5 years and end up with your doctorate. If you meet the criteria and you follow all the curriculum and the guidelines while you're at Maryville, you actually just flow through the program in your 6.5 years. At the end of your 4 years, you will receive a degree in health science, but you just move right into the graduate program. What's great about the direct entry programs with the physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech and language pathology is that you're not fighting for seats at the graduate level. So most programs at the graduate level, whether they're master's or doctorate programs, you're going to be fighting or competing, I won't say fighting, competing with students all over the country applying to get to those graduate level programs. At Maryville, as long as you meet the criteria and follow the curriculum while you're at Maryville, you are guaranteed a spot. So you are not competing against any other student. Specifically physical therapy. So at Maryville, we don't even admit students into the graduate level program. You have to come through as a freshman at Maryville. For occupational therapy, very similar program, direct entry as a freshman. You can come in, do your 4 years, get slotted right into the graduate program, and finish up with your master's degree. And the same thing with speech language pathology. With your master's, you come in as a freshman, direct entry, and maintain the curriculum and follow all the way through to 6 years and get your master's. Now at Maryville, we do have standalone graduate programs in occupational therapy and speech language pathology. So there are graduate students or students who have the undergraduate degree who are applying for the graduate program. They're competing against each other. If you come in as a freshman at Maryville, you're guaranteed a slot into those graduate level programs. What's the benefit of early direct admit or freshman direct admit programs? Obviously, it cuts out a lot of the stress in trying to get into that program as a transfer student or getting to that program as a graduate level student. And then for some of these programs, like the physical therapy program, another benefit is you're saving a little bit of time and a little bit of money because the program runs a little bit quicker than you would your traditional program. Now, some students know exactly what they want to do. Some students have been knowing since they were 8 years old that they want to be a physical therapist or a nurse or occupational therapist. If you're a student you're thinking about this career, but you're not quite sure, and you don't want to make that commitment up front for a direct entry program, we also offer pre-health professions. So if you want to come in and do pre-physical therapy or pre-occupational therapy, or even kind of a pre-speech program, you can do that as well. And as you'll see on the slide, we have everything pre-health professions you can think of. So pre-med, if you want to go to medical school, pre-athletic training, pre-pharmacy, pre-physician assistant, you name it. The difference is you would come into Maryville as a pre-health professions program major, and you would get your undergraduate degree. And then once you get your undergraduate degree, then you apply to get to those graduate level programs. So for instance, if you're not sure you want to commit 6.5 years up front for physical therapy, you can come in pre-physical therapy. You would go 4 years, get your bachelor's degree, and then you would apply to graduate programs. Couple brag facts, our nursing pass rates, you'll have to take a nursing board exam, and here are Maryville's pass rates. As you can see, upwards in the 90th percentile. This last year, 93% are passing the NCLEX, which is the nursing board exam you have to pass to practice. Physical therapy, you also have to take a board exam, and our licensure pass rate, as you can see, excited, 100% first time pass rate. So our students do really well when they actually get ready to graduate and take their boards and go out into the workforce. Applying to Maryville is really easy. It's online, it's free. We're members of the Common App, we're members of the Coalition app. We have been test optional for 5 years now, so we take a holistic review, so you don't have to worry about submitting any test scores to us. All you have to do is submit your transcripts, and we'll review your application based on the other components of your application. Quick thing about the cost, this is a significant investment. And so just throwing some numbers up there for you about what Maryville costs. The reason I really wanted to show you this slide is that you can see last year our total cost, tuition, room and board and fees, is about $38,000. This year, you can see the number's $37,000. And what you'll notice, I put those numbers in red. And I'm hoping that what you notice is that number went down. So the $26,000 tuition fees or tuition costs, we have frozen for the last 5 years. We were committed to never raising tuition again. This year we made the announcement that Maryville not only will never raise tuition again, but we're gonna decrease tuition. So we lowered tuition 5% this year, and it is part of our strategic plan in our efforts of access and opportunity for our students and affordability. So it is actually the first step, but we plan on lowering tuition by 20% over the next 4 to 5 years. All of our scholarships are listed on our website. 93% of our students receive financial aid. So you can definitely see how you can afford it if you go to our scholarships page. If all of this information is exciting and you're a little bit more curious, we are also offering visits. We have resumed on-campus in-person visits, so you're more than welcome to come to Maryville and visit us. If you can't make it in person, we're offering a variety of virtual visits, like a lot of my colleagues are. We have a couple different series running right now. Our Saint Sneak Peek Wednesdays are running every Wednesday, different topics. And then we have our Maryville webcast series that are running every month. And that series is a series that is actually hosted by a current student, and it's really about prospective students connecting with our current students. All you have to do is go to maryville.edu/visit, and you'll be able to see the variety of visit opportunities we have at Maryville. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to answer those questions. We just had a healthcare virtual visit this past week. So obviously, I think most of you probably missed it, but all of our virtual visits are recorded and you can watch on demand. So again, just go to that website, maryville.edu/visit, and you can hit watch on demand, and you can actually watch and take in some information about the healthcare programs at Maryville. All right, I think that's it for me, and I'm gonna turn it over to the next presenter.
All right, and next person is me, so I will thank you for passing along that. My name is Shannon. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at Florida Southern College, which is located in Lakeland. We're about halfway between Orlando and Tampa. So you're really in an amazing corridor full of really cool opportunities to both be in a slightly smaller town here in Lakeland, but also have access to those two big cities in Florida and Disney World. We're a smaller college, and ultimately Florida Southern categorizes ourselves as a comprehensive college with a liberal arts core. So what that means is that out of our 3,000-ish students, we see most of our students getting involved in programs across 5 schools, like nursing and health sciences, physical therapy, education. But we want to make sure that you're getting the chance to be really flexible with how you approach your career. Florida Southern's biggest programs do tend to be in areas like healthcare. We have an awesome direct entry BSN if you're interested in nursing. We have a great partnership program with LECOM for anyone who's interested in medicine, dental work, or pharmacy school. We have a medical lab sciences major if you're interested in working in a medical lab at any point. We also do go all the way through a doctorate for physical therapy and for nursing. So there's a lot of different ways that you can combine opportunities here at Florida Southern to really make those happen and achieve your career goals. One of the other things that I think is really cool about Florida Southern is we have this very unique partnership between our School of Education and our School of Nursing for our Center for Early Childhood Health and Education. So if you're really interested in the intersection between how students learn and how their health happens, that's a super cool way to get involved in a growing field, and is really located on our campus with our Roberts Academy School that operates. So you get a chance to work directly with the students and get a lot of hands-on experience. And one of the reasons that I highlight that is that Florida Southern really emphasizes that high impact experience. We're really well known for our kind of emphasis on engaged and active learning. So we want to make sure that you're getting a chance to do research, that you're getting to go to conferences, that you're getting to publish. If you're interested in doing something like the honors program that works with nursing, if you're interested in a really intense program, we want to make sure that you're going to be able to achieve your goals regardless of what major you're in. And we support that by making sure that you have a good connection with your professors and strong academic advising. So I mentioned wanting to make sure that you have a really student-focused experience. And one of the ways that we do that is by emphasizing 3 guarantees, which I think are kind of the 3 things that form the backbone of a Florida Southern education. These are guaranteed to every single student who comes through FSC. And I kind of want to touch on each of these in turn. So the first is study abroad. We do this through a program called the Junior Journey, which can be really a week to 3 or 4 weeks if you're involved in the direct entry nursing program or another program that's pretty intense credit-wise. But we also offer opportunities to do a semester or a year abroad if you're interested in spending a little bit more time outside of the US. This is factored into the cost of your tuition. You actually receive a credit as part of your tuition at Florida Southern. So a lot of the trips are partially or fully covered by that credit. Florida Southern also guarantees internship opportunities to all of our students. So regardless of what major you're in, we want to make sure that you're getting into your work experience early on and start building your resume. So that's a really important part of our process here. And the last big one is that we want you to graduate on time, because we want to make sure that you're coming to campus and having an awesome time at FSC, but also that you're getting out into your career or your graduate program or whatever you want to do after college and feel like you're doing that on time. So all of those combined means that we have a really stellar placement rate for students after graduation. 6 months after graduation, 97% of our students are either employed or attending graduate school. About a third will continue on to graduate school, whether that's at Florida Southern or elsewhere, and the remaining 2/3 tend to move into the workforce. And we have a really solid program that allows students who are interested in the healthcare professions to actually get targeted career advice from a specialized career center. So I think that's a really cool thing to note, is that you have someone who's a specialist in healthcare, who's a specialist in all of the medical fields that you could potentially go into, to make sure that you're getting really targeted advice and you have access to her from day one. She is super helpful. She just did a webinar for us, so I can drop the link in the chat or in an answer to a question if you want to ask. But otherwise, we really want to make sure that you have that support. So kind of to touch on the rest of Florida Southern real quick here. Florida Southern is a residential school. Most of our first years are living on campus, and we're right across the street from Lake Hollingsworth, which you can see down there in the bottom left. We have been ranked the most beautiful college in the state of Florida, so it's a pretty nice place to spend 4 years. And if you're interested in sports, or if you're interested in sports medicine, there's a lot of really cool ways to get involved with that as well. We are also an NCAA Division II school, so if you are an athlete and looking at athletic funding, send me a message and I can connect you with the coaches. Otherwise, if you're more interested in something like esports or ice hockey that's a club sport at Florida Southern, there's plenty of ways to get involved with those as well. Florida Southern is also a really highly involved campus, so we see our students do a lot of community service, get really involved with Greek organizations or campus ministries or social justice work, and digging their teeth and their fingers into the community to really have the chance to make an impact on our surrounding area. So kind of regardless of what you're interested in, I think Florida Southern is the place that is going to support that. But if you're interested in a particular extracurricular, let me know and I'm happy to answer questions about those as well. So application-wise, Florida Southern is on the Common Application and the Coalition application, and it is a free application, so you should not need to send in any money to apply. In order to read your application, we'll need a copy of your high school transcript and a letter of recommendation, as well as a personal essay. If you are not able to take the SAT or the ACT, we know that's been a problem for a lot of students right now, so you don't have to send in test scores. There's no additional essay that you need to fill out if you're applying, test optional. A big exception to this is the direct entry nursing program is still kind of finalizing exactly what that means in terms of their review process, but you're always welcome to contact me and check the website for up-to-date information. The rest of the majors on offer, everything from the early entry programs and our partnerships with LECOM and the direct medical lab sciences programs, those are all fully test optional and don't require any special work. So to discuss scholarships real quick, most of our students are receiving merit scholarships between $7,000 and $21,000. There are also opportunities for students to receive talent scholarships. So if you're an athlete or an artist, you're potentially looking at some additional funding. And one of my personal favorite things is that Florida Southern offers a visit reimbursement. So if you're an out-of-state student who's been accepted to Florida Southern, we'll actually help pay for your flight to come visit campus. So if you want more information on that, let me know. Otherwise, we are open for tours right now, but I think it's a good thing to kind of check out virtually as well. There's a link to the Experience FSC page on there, or you can search Experience FSC on the website, and that'll take you to a whole bunch of videos and virtual opportunities that we're doing. Otherwise, here's a couple of QR codes you can scan, including one in the top right corner to get a hold of me if you have any questions. And I'll leave this up here for like a minute or two so you can scan anything you need to or take a quick screenshot. And then I'll go ahead and pass it to my colleagues.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking with us here. So my name is Sarah Gibson. I'm from Nazareth College in Rochester, New York. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen here. All right. So obviously, I want to talk with you all today about healthcare at Nazareth. So I want to start actually by diving right into the programs and degrees that we offer. I'm going to get a little bit more into the nitty-gritty of the school afterwards, but I think what's really cool about today is actually in listening to the other presenters, there's a lot of things that our schools actually have in common. So the good news about that is that at the end of the day, it's really going to be about what place feels right to you. There's a lot of great opportunities at a lot of different schools, but at the end of the day, it's going to be which place do I really see myself excelling for those 4 years or potentially 5 or 6 years in some of these direct entry programs. So you can see all the different majors that we have within kind of the healthcare fields, everything from biomedical sciences, clinical laboratory sciences, nursing. Again, that is going to be a direct entry program. The great thing about that program, again, 4 years, and it's, as you can see, all of our majors are not impacted. What that means is that you're going to be able to take all the classes that you need to be able to finish within whatever the track of that program is. So within nursing, you're going to be able to finish that program and get all the classes you need to finish that program within 4 years. You're not going to get closed out of anything. And now the same is true for things like occupational therapy and physical therapy, which I'll get into in just a minute. Public health, another great program to go into right now, especially given everything that's going on. Social work program, and then toxicology. You may have never heard of toxicology. We are one of very few schools in the country to offer this as a program, but it studies the effects of toxins on the body. Really interesting field. We also, in addition to the school you just heard from, we have an early acceptance program with LECOM, Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine. You can either do a medical school early acceptance or a dental school early acceptance. We have a 3+4 option with that, where you'd actually finish your full medical or dental degree in 7 years instead of 8. And then we also have a 4+4 option for that as well. Communication sciences and disorders, that's going to be our speech therapy program. Now we have both an undergraduate program and a master's program. This is one of our few programs that isn't direct entry. And if you already know a little bit about speech therapy, you may know that you do actually need a master's degree in order to study speech therapy. You definitely can progress through that entire track at Nazareth College from our communication sciences and disorders to speech therapy. It's just not built in as a direct entry program, but most students do just easily transition from one to the other. Now, occupational therapy and physical therapy, those are direct entry programs. So occupational therapy is a 5-year ES to MS program where you will just transition smoothly into your master's program. And then physical therapy is actually more like a 3+3. You're going to actually start your graduate level work in physical therapy at the end of your junior year. And so it's really great because you're getting into that doctoral sort of clinical work and research really early on. And again, that's going to be a 6-year track. So you get your full doctorate in physical therapy all at Nazareth College within 6 years. So I do want to talk a little bit about the spaces that you're going to be working in, because I think this is really important to what you're going to be doing. So Peckham Hall is our science lab facility on campus. It's a 74,000 square foot space on our campus. And it is ranked in the top 20 science lab facilities in the entire country. Yes, that is, I said that right. So what that means is that's comparing us to places like Duke, Carnegie Mellon, places with some serious lab facilities. We're in the top 20, so we're competing with them. We have a mathematics lab within this space. We have state-of-the-art lab facilities, a cadaver lab right on campus. There aren't many schools our size to offer this. We have some great collaboration spaces, and one of the really cool things about this building is that it's green inside and out. So we have a greenhouse on our campus, which is actually 3 different kind of climates that are within that. And then the building itself is also LEED certified, which means that it meets certain standards for sustainability. And it actually has a green roof as well. So the roof is actually living, which is kind of cool. We have some really awesome kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? We have some fantastic opportunities for you to be able to get experience with some really great equipment, such as our 3D microscopes that we have in this space as well. I'm going to jump now into one of our other really fantastic facilities for healthcare, which is our York Wellness and Rehabilitation Institute. This is a working clinic that we have on our campus. So we have real life patients from our community that are coming in and being treated within this space. And they're being treated collaboratively with our faculty and our students. So it's this authentic interprofessional teaching and learning environment that's going on. And our approach is all about collaborative care. So you may come in and you're coming in for, specifically you think for occupational therapy, but there may be a need for you to have kind of physical therapy as well while you're in this space. So it's all about collaborating with potentially different styles of care to be able to best suit the patient. So what's great is that our physical therapists and occupational therapists and speech and language pathologists and our music therapists are all going to be working collaboratively in this space to come up with care for someone that is very individual, that's catered to them. And that's the really cool thing about this space and the type of learning that students are getting. So we see 15,000 different visitors to this clinic every single year. And we offer all the different variety of services that you see there. Everything from play therapy to communication and cognition, to speech and language. Really, we kind of do it all in that space. So why Nazareth? So I'll get into a little bit more about who we are. More than 1/3 of our students are pursuing a health or human services degree. So right there, you can see the commitment that we have. We are a liberal arts school, but we have a commitment to the health and human services absolutely in everything that we do. And because we are small, we're about 2,200 undergraduate students and about 700 to 800 graduate students, we are able to get you into those clinical opportunities. Rochester is the 3rd biggest city in New York State. We have 2 major hospitals in the area. We have a variety of clinics. So there are going to be opportunities for you to practice in the Rochester region, but also you're going to work with a career coach at Nazareth from day one. And that person is also going to help you, in addition to your academic advisor, to place you in these other opportunities. So say one of our physical therapy students, she had an opportunity to do a physical therapy internship in France. So she actually spent a whole semester there. She became fluent while she was there. And it was a really fantastic experience. But then we have these service learning trips, which are going to India and Ethiopia and the Dominican Republic. So there's going to be those opportunities as well. And I'd like to kind of just highlight this other quote down here. We like to hire Nazareth graduates by learning to collaborate with colleagues in these disciplines. We put the client at the center. So, I mean, that's really what it's all about, putting the client at the center of the care. And that's really what it's all about at NAS. So why is today a great day to be a Golden Flyer? Golden Flyers are, of course, our mascot at Nazareth College. Well, it starts with the fact that we have a campus tunnel system on our campus that connects all the buildings on campus. They just look like hallways. That's all there is. They're not creepy, I promise, but they connect all the buildings on campus. So when it is cold in the winter, you can throw on your shorts and flip-flops and go to class that way. So it's a really cool kind of unique factor. Our cost of attendance, believe it or not, once you factor in financial aid, we end up being closer to the cost of a UC school for most students. Freshmen can have cars on campus. I know this may not be that big of a deal to you because you may be thinking, well, I'm just gonna fly. I'm not gonna drive my car all the way across campus. I heard there's an airport 15 minutes down the road, which there is. But the great thing about freshmen having cars is that you will have a friend who can drive you around, who can drive you 10 minutes to downtown Rochester. And that's a really nice thing. We are test optional for all of our programs, except that early acceptance LECOM program. What we are with that is we are actually this year what I call test delayed. So what that means is that we will actually delay the need for your test score. So if you're not able to take the SAT or ACT this year and you really want to apply to that LECOM program, we can accept your test scores up until the end of the first semester of your freshman year. All of our other programs are test optional. We've been test optional pretty much since test optional started. And believe it or not, we are not religiously affiliated. We were founded as a Catholic school back in the 20s, but we haven't had any specific religious affiliation since the 70s. But we have lots of opportunities for interfaith study within our Hickey Center for Interfaith Studies. That's the second largest in the country. We have a shared Jewish-Muslim prayer space on campus, so lots of opportunities there for spiritual and religious learning if that's something you want, but not a requirement in any way, shape, or form. And then I just want to leave you here before I give you my contact information with some fun, snazzy, nazzy stats. I do want to point out that number 0. That is the number of lecture halls we have on campus, classes taught by TAs, dollars required to apply because we don't have an application fee, and also our laundry is free on campus as well. We are on the Common Application, I should mention that. And the other thing on this slide, I mean, you'll see very similar things to what my colleagues talked about. 97% of our students employed are in grad school within 12 months of graduation, small class sizes. But I really want to highlight this kind of bottom right thing, which is about our nursing study abroad option. Our nursing students, you may not have never thought about Finland in your life, but our nursing students, if you study abroad in Finland, when you come back, you have the opportunity to take the licensure exam to become fully licensed as a nurse, both in the US and then anywhere in the European Union. Really, really cool. So that's all that I have for you. I'm just gonna leave this up just for a second here so you have my contact information. Again, my name is Sarah Gibson. I am the West Coast rep for Nazareth College, so I would be working with all of you should you choose to apply. Please feel free to email me. We have a lot of great virtual events and workshops too that are coming up. So you can register for those right on our website. And I really enjoyed speaking with you today. Thank you so much. And so I'm going to wrap up at least our presenters part here and pass it back so that we can wrap up.
Thank you so much, Sarah, and all of our presenters. I can just hear the students out there clapping and applauding right now because you are all absolutely wonderful, and I want to go to all of your schools. And we really hope that the students that are with us today are catching these opportunities for direct entry and for access into programs that are not easily accessed here in California. And there are all these opportunities waiting for you outside of California. So please, please send your questions to our reps, follow up with our reps. We would love to make sure you get all the information that you need. If anyone has a question, we have like another minute or so. So you're welcome to put a question in that Q&A box. I know they would love to hear from you. Don't be shy. We got one. I'm gonna let you guys look at the questions.
So the first question is about out-of-state tuition. I know there were at least a couple of us here that are private schools. So that means that tuition is going to be the same in-state versus out-of-state. And the other great thing about kind of being an out-of-state student is that oftentimes schools, I know like ours, will have additional housing grants or scholarships that we offer for students that are coming from out of state.
And I'm seeing lots of nodding and head raising or hand behind. So I know all of our campuses would have those options and opportunities for you. So definitely follow up because I think you'll get some really good information. I think there's one more question. Okay. All right, I am going to share my screen and tell everyone thank you so much for being with us today. When we exit the session today, students are going to receive a quick 4-question survey. We hope you'll take just a few minutes and fill that out for us. Again, we hope you'll go back to college2careerfairsconnect.org and look for some additional sessions to attend. Remember that we will have a recording of this session posted there. You can also find additional college information on that site. We try to put up videos of our campuses. We have the AP, IB policies, admissions pages, all of that under the college information tab at college2careerfairsconnect.org. Thanks so much for being with us today. Goodbye. And see everyone later. Thanks.